Welcome to Unsigned 518. I am here with the Grandstand Jockeys. And I guess what we're going to do is, it's not a visual podcast, but we'll start over here to my left. Ron, if you want to just
introduce myself as Ron.
yourself.
I am Ron,
Oh,
and
shit.
I am the
Sorry.
vocalist
I buried
and
the lead.
guitarist. No, that's all right. That's
Spoiler.
good. I got a double intro on that one. Yeah,
Fair.
My name's Ron Burris. I'll give you my last name and singer and the guitarist, rhythm extraordinaire.
And then I am Morgan Smith, lead guitar, and band Fool.
I'm Matt Schwartz. I'm the bass player, as Ron affectionately calls me, the enforcer.
Mr. Beefcake. Told you that too.
Ba-dum-bum.
I'm Brian Rex, drums. I just hit stuff. Hopefully it sounds good.
Dude, I'm not the one in the gym 6 times a day. Just want to point that out. All right,
That's
Beefcake.
evident. That's evident.
So what we want to do is just go back. Oh, watch it, Calvin. Go back and, tell the story of Grandstand Jockeys. And I was saying before we got recording, just kind of, how you want to tell the story. So I don't know who wants to take the lead. Ron,
I guess I'll give you the run on this. So we've been around. We put our first release out in 2021. The project started due to the pandemic. Shifting from one band to another caused a different project to start, which is the Grandstand Jockeys. I did a bunch of recordings over at Multimedia with Dave Parker. And he is an engineer extraordinaire, mixer extraordinaire, and he's done a great job for us. So we did 3 EPs over the course of 21 and 23, and we've kind of been playing gigs since 21 in support of those EPs, and we are preparing to do another EP coming up in 2025. Seems like we're slow. We need like a year off in between, but we get to it eventually.
Yeah.
But we're playing a lot too, so we'll take a little grace with that. But really, we had a period of time where we've had some adjustment with getting the band set up. As anybody knows, when you're in a band, sometimes you lose members, you gain members. But we have finally got our crew together, and they are a majestic crew, if I say so myself. Just look at these svelte fellas.
Wow.
Right.
And so we actually met at the Fuse Box.
That's
when
right.
When we played a gig a while ago, and I got thinking, and and I said I didn't have like interview questions, but if shit came up, and I do remember that I wanted to ask about the name, because to me, the name Grandstand Jockeys sounds kind of like backseat driver.
It's kind of like that. So what it was is the Grandstand Jockeys. I used to play at a club called Saratoga Winners back in the day.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So every time we would play a show, there was always a group of individuals that sat back by the foosball table and they would have their arms crossed, and they would literally be like, I can do that better. I am the best at this. You guys don't know what you're doing. If you only did this, right? So it was always these guys who had all the advice but never did anything. And I always used to look back at them and be like, oh, look at those Grandstand Jockeys. And that name just kind of stuck. And then I did have the privilege of meeting some people in the industry, Johnny Zazula, who used to manage Metallica,
Wow.
because I was friends with Ted Murata from the Ominous Sea Pods. And so I tried to pitch him my band back then, and he basically said, we sucked. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then somehow I had mentioned the name Grandstand Jockeys when I was down there with him, and he said that was the only good thing that came out of my mouth. And so I held on to it for 20 years, and then I brought it out, and here we are today.
I almost thought you were gonna be like, he was like, yeah, I love the name. I'm taking it. Like.
Yeah, no, he because at the time I played in a metal band and we were just trying to get. I mean, he was Johnny Zazula. He's gonna hook us up, and he was like, I listened to your album. And I'm like, here it comes. He's going to give us the love. He's like, you suck. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But I mean, I was used to that.
But it still sucks. So.
Yeah, right. Back in the day, I mean, I remember sending out to every record company that was out there, and we would get denial after denial. And we even got some that would say, you should stop playing music and focus on a day job career. And I'd be like,
Male model.
right. It always made you feel warm and fuzzy. I think the meanest one we ever got was from Sub Pop Records. They said the dream was over. And I was like, oh, wow. Wow, that's a good one.
Like, go fuck yourself, Sub Pop.
I'm like, wow. Although I still want to play on Sub Pop. Like, if they wanted to sign me today, I'd be like, all forgiven.
I don't know. I was at the airport in Seattle a couple years ago, and Sub Pop had like a airport store.
I've heard about
and
that.
I was like, lame. Like,
Yeah,
but I mean, I loved them back in the day. But I
Right,
don't know.
right.
Maybe
I
I'm just
get it.
old and crusty.
They're not the same Sub Pop
They're not
that they
the same.
used to be.
Yeah, and we're the same age, which is
Right.
so we experience things in the same lens, I guess.
Right, absolutely.
Which brings me to my next question that I said I wasn't going to have. The music style, like, clearly has like an alternative rock, but like, how much with the four of you now does everybody have for like input on stylistically on the songs?
So on the new material that we're doing now, and even before that, so like, as soon as everybody came into the band, the one thing that I like to do is I want everybody to feel comfortable.
Right.
So if they want to alter things slightly, so long as it sounds good, that's where we go with it. But on the new stuff, everybody writes their own lines. So, we come in with ideas, we sit down, we work on them. We did one a couple days ago over at Morgan's house. We worked on 4 of them in a 8x10 room.
Very hot.
Matt got to have his eardrum rearranged by a cymbal that was less than an inch away from it, which was wonderful. I'm surprised he can hear anything we're talking about right now.
I definitely have ringing still.
Oh, it's here. Hang on. Take the microphone to tell him that. Don't just.
Well, I still have ringing in my ear from the cymbal, Brian, so thank you.
No problem.
And, yeah, that was a lot of fun, got to say, yeah.
I think, Ron, weren't you trying to play with a certain canine?
Oh yeah, yes.
Tickling your, groin
Morgan's
area?
dog, Ivan the Terrible, was coming in and whipping me in the most sensitive of areas with his tail as
He
we're
liked the
trying
song.
to play.
He was very excited about the song.
And there was nowhere I could go to avoid it. It's like you shift left, still getting it. Up, shift right, getting hit still. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Speaking of dog, I'm gonna get
There
a
he
quick
is.
video. Of you
Right.
guys with Calvin.
That's it. At least he's not whipping me in the ding dong.
No,
That's
no.
the whole fucking.
I mean,
Well, the night is
2
young,
years
Ron.
ago, I wouldn't have been able to say no. You're fine, because 2 years ago he probably would have just charged and jumped. He's calmed down quite
that's
a bit.
good. I'm glad that he's calmed down
Yeah.
for my sake.
Yeah. He
That's
used-
a wonderful
He
thing.
used to be very excitable.
He seems like a wonderful boy.
He is a wonderful boy. Yeah.
As far as the
He just stopped chewing his bone for a second. He's like, bitches, you talking about?
He knows. And I always say, he's the dog. Like, there's no dog that knows as many 518 bands as
Right.
Calvin.
Because he's getting exposed to them. They all come
every
in here.
episode, he does exactly this. Except, and I've talked about it before, there is some people that Calvin leaves the room for and just disappears, and I will not see them the entire time. And it's not a great
That's
sign.
not a good look on the music,
Not
no.
a great sign.
No.
Like, this is great. He's in the room chilling.
Right, he's hanging out.
fine.
He's one of the guys. He
But
wants
there's
to be in
literally
on this.
been bands that have come in and Calvin just fucking disappears, and I'm like, ooh, he does not like you guys.
dogs know. Dogs know.
Yeah,
Right.
Very
totally.
smart.
So, I think we're gonna play, I think you guys are gonna play a live song a little later on in the show. But right
Correct.
now, is there a tune from the Grandstand Jockeys that we want to play for the
So
folks?
right now we have a single out. We have a video for it on YouTube. We actually have 2 songs with videos out. So if you go to YouTube, you can check out our videos. But this song, Brian, why don't you introduce the song now?
Yeah, this is Gun. This song is killer. We had a great time. Where were we? Down in Cairo? Selkirk area. and Old House made a cool video. And yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. Another song on YouTube with the video is Better Days. That's been around. I think we just hit the 1,000 mark the other day
we
on
did.
that one.
We just got the 1K, which is exciting. I know it's a small milestone, but for anybody, I'm like,
Yeah.
did the little happy dance.
Hell yeah.
That's a great tune. But yeah, this is Gun. It smokes. We play it live every show, and it always goes over well. So check it out.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
And so what I'll do is I'll also link to the YouTube page and the videos on the show notes for the episode. So if you're listening, just click on the show notes and go check out the video. And right now we're going to hear the song. This is Gun, the Grandstand Jockeys, and then we'll be right back. Rock on.
Got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. I ain't looking to fight, at least not with you. We can go all night, we can go all day. Words drop like bombs, bombs away. Feet don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun. Feet don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun. Ha! Got nothing to gain, I got nothing to lose. When I see you, I don't know what to do. We can go all night, we can go all day. We can do what you want from me. Don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun. Feet don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun, no. 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 Feet don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun. Feet don't fail me now, I'm on the run. No need to worry, no, I don't have a gun, no. 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 I don't have a gun, no.
All right, so that was Gun, the Grandstand Jockeys, and we were saying while we were listening to the song that you obviously you've been playing around Albany a lot, you've been doing a bunch of gigs, but you not only play in Albany, you've been kind of expanding your reach.
That's right. We play regionally. We have a nice little circuit that we've started playing in. We're gonna share this burden right now, and we played Buffalo.
New York City.
Syracuse,
Boston.
We hit Burlington, right? Did we say Burlington already?
Poughkeepsie,
Poughkeepsie,
Philadelphia.
and where else are we going? We got Beantown a lot, 3 times coming up in Beantown, and we're really excited about playing New York City too, which took us 2 years to get another gig in New York City. So we've been regionally traveling out to Buffalo and then down as far as New York City and Philadelphia and over to Boston pretty much for 2 years now.
And now, so for other local bands, because there's obviously like different tiers. I was also saying before we recorded, like, my band, we don't want to travel to Philadelphia or Boston. We just want to play locally, and whatever. But like, obviously, there's bands that want to, there's local bands that travel out to California and Oregon and like they're regional. But like, how do you start to make that happen? I guess like it's hard enough getting gigs where you like know people in an area, but how do you get a fucking gig?
Just to toot Ron's horn, he's the leader of this band. There's no doubt, and he is relentless.
He doesn't get
He does
what
not
it
give
comes
up.
down to is you have to constantly, it's like a 24-hour-a-day job. You're constantly looking to see what bands you see in different areas that are similar to you. And if you see bands that are similar to you, you can then go, oh, that club is going to play somebody like us. We're going to have an opportunity. So then we've taken the time to put together a professional package that we hand to people. We have an EPK. We went out, we get professional photographs. We have our videos. And this is all stuff that you provide off to these places. And the more professional you can present, the easier it is to walk in and get a gig.
So you do hit the venues like more than like some of the bands.
For me, I end up going after the venues most of the time because the theory is I don't know a lot of the bands in their area. I'm new.
Right.
It's a brand new thing. So what I have to rely on is a venue lining us up with other bands that are going to help us spread our word out there. And then it really just comes down to playing, showing up and playing. And so it's a lot of fun. We love packing up the van and going for a ride. We try and make sure that, we give everything we got every time we go out there, because you never know. Even if it's not the greatest draw, which you can go out of town and still not have the greatest draw, but you can go out of town and have a crazy good night. And you'll be like, wow. And it makes
you never
you feel
know those
good.
venues that are going to have that built-in crowd that just want to see original live music and are going to show up. Like, it'd be like, I've never heard of these guys. Cool. Let me go check them out.
Right. And it helps your playing. To tell you the truth, it really does help you. There's something about packing up a van, taking all your equipment, wedging your asses in the van. People are cutting cheese all over the place.
No.
And you have to go with each other to each. I mean, we drove through a blizzard out to Buffalo earlier this year. It was in January. Like, everybody around here had no power. We saw like 15 cars off the road. We started videotaping it. We were like, this is our entertainment on the way there.
off the road in like a 7-mile stretch.
Yeah, right. It was a little stretch, and but we made it out there. We got to play the gig. It was a very good experience, and it helped us play better. And now we have a foot in the door out in Buffalo, so now we can return back out there and do other shows. And that's really the model of it. Sometimes you play a venue out of town, it doesn't go so well, and you don't go back to that venue. You try and find another one. But you just have to be tenacious and just continue and
The Jug gave us a chance out in Syracuse. We went out and had a good show out there, and now we're going out there again.
Yep, we did the Jug. We have
places
classic
out in
bars
Boston.
like the Double Down in New York City. Yeah. That was our. Somebody's phone just went off.
I think
what?
Calvin
I
was
think
eating
it's
something
my
out there.
phone that went off.
Is it? Because that's the sound that my phone makes when someone's at the front door.
Yeah, and that's the sound that it makes when someone's at my front door. And guess what? Someone was at my front door.
Well, I can see my front door, and I'm like, what the fuck is
I
going
know.
on?
I can't see my front door. It is quite a few miles away from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to answer your question, he's relentless at hunting these places down and making multiple attempts to try and get in the door. And then, like you said, once you do get an opportunity, you gotta go. You gotta be professional. You gotta show up. You gotta kick as much ass as you can in your 30 minutes. And that's all you can do. And,
you have to
let the rest take
practice,
care of itself.
make sure you go up there, give the people a good show.
And-
People want a good show.
Do you like, because my day job is I'm a social media manager. So
Okay.
like it really helps, with the band and the podcast is because I
Right.
can,
Right, you're familiar with the
I'm
stuff.
familiar with it, but
I am
do
not.
you do something different? Like if you have a gig coming up around here,
Yep.
and you obviously have people that are going to show up for you. You have fans, you have people here. Do you approach it differently if you're out in a market that you like may not have, a single person that knows of you? Like, how do you get someone there? Or
We
do you
typically approach all of them the same way, where we invest in our band. This is our business, right? So we invest back into us. We will go and do like targeted ads for like Facebook or an Instagram for the geographic area that we're going to play. So if we're playing Syracuse, we'll inundate that area with these ads on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and we're using social media as much as possible to drive up as much as you can.
But you'll target.
Yes, because
like, do
you
the
can
targeted-
get into the system and you can, I want to do right around this area. And usually what I'll do is I'll do like 50 miles from the club. Yeah, 50 miles around the club, because that's when you're going to get a pretty broad, for example, if you're playing Albany, 50 miles gets you up to Lake George, right? So you have a pretty wide swath of people that are going to get to hear that you're around. They see you, they become exposed with your name. Even if it doesn't hit on the first time, if you continue to do this, it ends up hitting because they see your name. The more they see your
And
name,
they see your face too.
See your face,
and like
right.
that's for anybody listening that wants to like what Ron's talking about with like the targeting stuff is like on Instagram and Facebook you can pay. It's usually like you can do a sliding scale.
Yeah,
you
you
pay
can do
whatever
any
the fuck
amount.
You
You can
want.
do like I got $5.
Yeah,
and
like
you can
and
run with
and then you
$5.
can choose where geographically people are going to see it.
Absolutely. So you find, and then you can refine your audience so that you're hitting an age demographic. You can
Or even
add in
light
their
or,
style of music.
Sure.
People who are interested in live concerts. So, I mean, I spend a lot of time once we get the gig making sure that we have proper social media presence in that area.
Yeah, and they'll see you and they become familiar with you, and that will drive somebody, and then they get excited when they show up and they're like, "Oh shit, that's the dude I've been looking, I've been seeing on social media for
Absolutely.
weeks."
And we network too when we're at these places. Whoever's the booker, we make sure we shake their hands. We meet all the other bands.
Yep.
We've played shows at the Chance and like CKY. And,
Yeah,
and,
we-
Rickshaws,
Yeah.
Burger
it's,
Patrol,
yeah.
and, like all these great bands.
Rickshaw
that
Billy's
come through.
Burr
Yeah,
Patrol,
yeah.
right? And then we also did Crowbot, and like we've had a good run of a
Austin
lot of
Mead, and
nationals.
we still talk to some of those guys in those bands just from running in the same circles, and then you start to create a little buzz.
And
that way,
that's
too.
another thing. If you're a band and you're playing outside of this area, other bands that are playing outside of this area, they notice you. So it's not only are you getting your face out there for the audience, you're getting it out there for the musical community. So people go, "Oh, we started playing in Boston at one venue. We're playing 3 different venues in Boston now." So Boston has become kind of like our second home. We play almost as much in Boston as we do in Albany. And people are getting to know who we are out there. And it helps us here, too, because then people hear, well, they just came back from Boston and they had a good run. Let's go see what's going on.
And it'll
out there.
also, like, if there's Boston bands, even if they're like a band that doesn't have connections, like you
Right.
can literally be like, "Hey, I'll be your connection. Like, let's set up a fucking gig."
That happens all the time.
in Albany."
Absolutely. Right.
Bands
and,
are constantly
trading
asking,
gigs
"Hey, you
and
want to
stuff
flip,
like
flip
that.
gigs?" Or,
Right.
"Hey," or a lot of bands will recommend clubs too that we haven't either heard of or thought of. And if you're gonna play
And
this
actually,
kind of
that's
music,
a
go
big
check
help.
out this
Is when you
place.
do get talking with the other bands, they'll be like, "Hey, there's this venue you
Right.
should check out. It'd probably work better for you guys." And you're like, "Oh, all right, thanks." That's how you keep it moving. So
Yeah, I love that. And like I said, I mean, it's behind the Miss Pac-Man machine on the banner, but I have a new podcast called the Unsigned518, which is, I've had, it's all over the phone, but I had a band from like Detroit, Portland, Oregon, like, places all over the place.
Sure.
And it's just kind of that same thing to find out what their scene is like and get
Right.
a little advice from them. And the idea is, if a couple years down the road, if it's still going, there'll be bands that'll know of each other because
right, traditionally that's how it's always worked, is they get playing along,
Right.
and then other bands will know about the really good bands before the regular people do. You'll all of a sudden you'll be like, hey man, you got to look out for this band
Yeah.
coming through. These guys are crazy.
Yeah. Don't
And
listen
then-
to the suits. Listen
Right.
to the bands.
Right, and that's it. Usually those guys know what's going on, and but that's what we're trying to do, this as a career and expand
Right.
it, and so traveling's just part of the game.
So at this point, I think we should hear a live song, and you wanted to play this because this is I'm going to be the first person to actually, and everybody fucking listening too, but that to ever hear this. This is not a recorded song. This is a brand new
Right.
song.
You may have been able to hear it live at a concert, but not exactly the
Oh,
same
okay.
way.
All right.
Because we've played it, I think, maybe a dozen times now out live. Because you always want to get your footing with a song before you present it anywhere. But we're getting ready to go in 2025, and we're going to record a bunch of songs. I think we have about 17 songs that we're getting ready to rock out. But this is one of the ones that felt good right out of the gate. Everybody grabbed it, and everybody seems to enjoy it. So we hope your listeners enjoy it too.
All right, so we're going to give the Grandstand Jockeys just a second to get ready, and it's going to get real fucking loud in the Dazzle Den as they perform Evermore live in the studio, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up with the Grandstand Jockeys.
Woke up in the middle of a heated fight. Devil asked me how I like my life. What did you say? What did you say? I don't know, but things are about to change. It's no more time. Make up your mind. What's beyond that door? Evermore. 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 Dig a hole 6 feet down below. Someday that's exactly where I'll go. What did you say? What did you say? Devil already bought and paid for me. It's no more time. Make up your mind. What's beyond that door? We'll find another stitching time. Oh, the evermore. 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 Wow! There's no more time. Make up your mind. What's beyond that door? We'll find another searching time. Oh, the evermore. 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 Evermore! 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 Evermore!
All right, that was Evermore, the Grandstand Jockeys live here in the Dazzle Den. That was fucking awesome. I really dug that. That was super cool. So I want to thank you guys for coming out, not only coming out, but, you know, bringing your instruments and doing a live rock show here in the Dazzle Den. And before we go, I just want to give you all each individually a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitude. So, Ron, we'll start with you.
Well, you know, first we want to thank you at Unsigned518 for
thank you.
having us.
Absolutely.
This was an awesome time. We had a great time doing this. Anybody who gets an opportunity, they should come over here and do this. It's fabulous. We have a beautiful area that we're sitting in, and we get to make lots of noise and talk about wonderful music.
Yeah.
Really, the people I want to thank is everybody. I want to thank the band members. I mean, sometimes bands forget to thank each other, and I like thanking my guys all the time, because without them, I can't go out there and do it. So it's awesome. I want to thank anybody who comes out to our shows. I want to thank all the clubs like Empire Live and Mike Valeni, you know, Ralph Renna. These are all our good buds and friends, and we've had some good hookups. I'm sure I'm missing out on a million people. I can name a million other bands and everything else, but yeah, I want to thank everybody who's ever supported us. I'm going to pass this off right now over to Mr. Matthew Beefcake Schwartz.
Well, I just, first of all, want to thank Unsigned518 for having us in. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I do want to thank the people who come out and support us on a constant basis. I know I have a group of friends who show up at a lot of our shows, Rob, Michelle, and the people you bring. Thank you. You know, I have family who will come out and friends in other cities, because I grew up actually out in the central part of the state in Oswego, New York. And so my friends who are still out there and musicians, they come out and see us when we come play in Syracuse. And so a lot of thanks to those people who show up for us constantly. And I'd also like to thank the band. I'm the newest member of the band, and it's been awesome just being in this band, being a part of this group, and the fact that they brought me in. I have a lot of gratitude where that's concerned. That you know, I always played in cover bands before this, and cover bands, for me, it gets old. You know, you're just playing the same stuff over and over again, and when you get into an original thing that is just outstanding, like the Grandstand Jockeys, it's just a lot of fun. And you know, I'm really appreciative of being in this band. So, Morgan.
Yo, it's Morgan here. So I'd like to also go off of what Ron and Matt said. Yeah, I'm the baby of the band, as Brian's saying, the youngest guy here. I do want to thank, again, Unsigned518. Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it. I love the Dazzle Den. It's very awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I also want to thank my band members. You guys are amazing individuals. I love writing songs with all you guys, putting your own inputs in. It's a very good communal effort, I think. And I think we're rocking the roof off the place. I also want to thank all of our local promoters and shows, like, again, the Empire Live and all the other places that we played out of state, like the Jug and Midway Cafe down in Boston. That place is awesome. I also want to thank my bosses at Parkway Music, because they let me take all this crazy time off to go do stupid shit and hop in a van with a bunch of dudes and fart and make stupid jokes and run smoking weed half the time.
Amen.
Yeah. And then obviously want to thank my father for introducing me to music. He was started off in blacksmith. I played in Sonic Sacrifice with him. He introduced me, taught me everything I knew how to play music, and I apply it to this band and every band I'm in. Thank you so much again, guys. Here's Brian Rex.
Boy, these guys are sappy, aren't they? Oh my God, I think I'm shedding a tear over here. It's a great
tissue?
group. It's a great group. We bust on each other. We have a good time. We generally, I can't remember like literally any sort of arguing that was substantial. It's just, it doesn't happen, you know.
That's
But thanks
supposed
for
to
having
be
us.
fun.
Definitely, thanks for having us come in. And these guys covered a lot of stuff. The only thing I'll say is doing original music and getting out there and playing in these clubs. It's not easy, as you know. It's a grind. It can be deflating sometimes. Crowd, the light crowd or whatever. But at the end of it, you really wouldn't be doing anything else, because this is what we do. So to the people that do come out and support, not just us, but all the local bands, original music, regional bands that come through, it means a lot, because everybody's got a busy schedule, and for people to make time to come out and check us out and buy merch, and even give us a like on social media and all that stuff, it definitely means a lot. So, but thanks a lot for having us, man. We appreciate it.
So they are the Grandstand Jockeys. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned518. I'll see you on the road. Unsigned518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at Unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.